Daylight, my MVVs, welcome. Ooni of Ife is alleged to have raised the lamb, brought in investigators, and, been very, very apprehensive over the fact that something really terrible almost happened to Dr. Lizzy right there inside the palace. Now, from what we are hearing allegedly, you know that about a month ago, we heard that the Ooni of Ife bought 2 new cars for which he used to thank Dr. Lizzy and Olori and Temitope for being thoughtful about him, being there for him, responding to his needs, and not, being argumentative and, generally supporting him. And they said these cars were brand new, like tear rubber. And, they said Olori, Temitope, and Dr. Elizabeth were very, very happy. They appreciated the Ooni of Ife and all of that. And Ooni of Ife made mention to them that it was his gift of love for all their sacrifices, especially for Dr. Lizzy. It's no longer news that Dr. Lizzy has been there for Ooni of Ife, back to back, supporting him the entire time, even when other Oloris will not. Dr. Lizzy is doing everything to ensure that Queen Naomi returns back to the palace with Adenikawa. We are all aware that it might not just be because Dr. Lizzy wants to do that, but it might just be because Dr. Lizzy just wants the peace and happiness of the Ooni of Ife to be complete. So as we are hearing this gist that we are hearing, they say that Dr. Lizzy is somebody that the Ooni of Ife loves so much and cares so much about and all of that. So this new tear rubber car that they bought for Dr. Lizzy, they said Dr. Lizzy was usually, that the wives do not drive themselves, but they said Dr. Lizzy is this woman that sometimes, just maybe, she might just want to enter her brand new car and go maybe to see 1 or 2 persons. They said she entered her car and she was driving and she was about to negotiate a bend inside the corner that the brakes could not hold. That car rammed into a tree, but fortunately for Dr. Lizzy, nothing happened to her. It was only the light that got broken and all of that. Now, when they came and they brought the car out and everything, they found out that the brake was not holding. And so they said, how can this be for a brand new car, a tear rubber car that was bought? And when they now tried to probe further, they found out that somebody had tampered with the brakes. This is, in fact, more than anybody can ever take in. Like, this is getting hotter and this is getting unbelievable and this is beginning to look like, fiction. So they said somebody tampered with the brakes. Apparently, they are aware that car, because it's brand new tear rubber, Dr. Lizzy likes to drive that car by herself. And maybe because they knew that is why they would go and tamper with the brakes so that something will happen to Dr. Lizzy and all of that. And so they say this is not something that is funny anymore, that allegedly that the Ooni of Ife is taking this up, very, very upset, especially after investigation showed that something must have happened to that car. So apparently it is beginning to look as though that the fact that Dr. Lizzy has been supporting Naomi back to back, supporting her return to the palace, and the fact that Ooni of Ife listens to her a great deal, the fact that she is a great support system when it comes to this drama between the Ooni of Ife and Queen Naomi and Tadenikawo. She is a backbone to the Ooni of Ife. She wants to see that happen. For, a lot of people say they don't know. They say, why would Dr. Lizzy want Naomi back in the palace? Is there no ulterior motive? They have never seen where a maid would love a mate and all of that. I think Dr. Lizzy's allegiance is not to Naomi, it's to the Ooni of Ife. Sometimes when you are in a relationship, there may be something that may not necessarily serve both parties, but because it's going to come in as a way of happiness to the other party, you want to do it, you want to let it go, you want to, ensure that happens for them. Maybe that is exactly what Dr. Lizzy is doing for the Ooni of Ife, knowing that if Queen Naomi comes in, perhaps there will be peace, complete peace, and the Ooni of Ife's happiness will be complete. Perhaps he will now be very, very, he will not be able to rest and also care for them more than he is doing right now, because right now his mind is divided. He is unhappy. The fact that Tadenikawo is not there. And again, maybe Dr. Lizzy is doing this just for Tadenikawo. See, there are people in this world. I know that the world is very terrible right now. It does seem as if everybody is selfish. Everyone is thinking about themselves. But I have come to the realization that there are still people in this world who are very thoughtful of others. There are still people in this world who will leave their own because they want to fix your own. There are still people in this world who will sacrifice anything for you. I do think that Dr. Lizzy is such a person, and I do think that she generally likes Olori Naomi, because she has always said that Olori Naomi is like somebody she has great respect for. She has always admired Olori Naomi, even from afar, and all of that. While she was in Switzerland, it was only when she had a relationship, like started something with the Ooni of Ife, that she found out that is this Queen Naomi story. If not, that she's always been somebody who admired Naomi from afar. She could never, ever have thought that she would be the one who would put Naomi out. And so now that she's already married to the Ooni of Ife, if all the Ooni of Ife desires is to bring Naomi back in and for him to be happy, what is wrong with that? Okay, so right now, they are thinking the Ooni of Ife is very upset. Nobody knows what happened, but it does seem as though allegedly somebody tampered with the brakes and maybe wanted to hurt Dr. Lizzy. And, for reasons best known to them. But of course, the only reason that we can all see is the fact that Dr. Lizzy is standing with Ooni back to back. Dr. Lizzy wants Tadenikawo back into the palace, want Naomi back into the palace so that everybody can have their peace. She had already called wives and told them that they should cooperate so that, Naomi can return back to the palace so that everybody can focus. From the very beginning, when she started this campaign for everybody to support Ooni of Ife, to bring... Sorry for that break. So, the thing now, they say Ooni is very, very angry right now. That when investigations are over, they will find out what exactly happened. And you see, this is the reason why everybody is saying Queen Naomi needs to be very careful. Now, the palace is a very big community, gated community with all of these guards. How come nobody knows what is going on inside that palace? Everything they don't know. And I also think that Ooni needs to begin to put drastic measures in place to ensure that, incidences like this, when they are investigated, they are not thrown under the carpet. Like that fire incidents, up till now, nobody knows the outcome, what happened, who did it. And that is why these things are continuing in the palace. So they say right now, the palace, not be small wahala because of Dr. Elizabeth. And you know that he does not joke with Dr. Elizabeth. If this had happened to any other person, he may have taken it lightly. But because it's Dr. Elizabeth, I think that they overstretched it this time. Anyways, I'm here. I'm going to be bringing you update because I don't know how this is going to play out. But whatever happens, I'll bring you more update. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, people.